Hello people, and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines Modular Builds. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And thank you for all the support and kind comments that you guys left on the Olympic Park build that we worked on last week. Now, it turned out really nicely. Especially with the track and field stadium with the monorail. This is a lovely little combination. And the rock gardens underneath the monorail really help kind of, I think, detail the monorail stop itself as well, alongside the road, of course. But yeah, nice little build. Thanks for all the support on it. But yeah, we'll get in with today's build, shall we? And we are going to be working on kind of like a legal district / town centre modular build that you can use. There's a couple of different functions for this one, so I guess we'll just dive into it. So for this build, it can be used as a town centre or as kind of an internal downtown build. There are a couple of little variations you can do with this thing. So the first thing you want to find is going to be kind of a corner like this. You know, you want a big wide street corner. So where two arterial roads converge would be a good point. And you can also box this in to serve as a town centre, as we've done many times before as well. So I want to grab my gravel path, and the first thing we're going to use is the gravel path, which is a little bit surprising. It did take me by surprise too. But we're going to bring this down, and we're going to leave a distance of 3 tiles between this road right here, okay? We've got 3 tiles here. And then we're just going to draw up by 10 for right now. We're going to grab a small road, and we're going to draw this right up alongside the path that we've just drawn in. And then this is going to allow us to place in the oppression office unique building from the level 4s. And we want this to be right up against the corner. Then we are going to grab a 2-lane one-way road with tram tracks, and we're going to draw this up behind, again, just by a distance of 10. We'll kind of come back into these smaller corners in a moment. And then we'll switch the oppression office onto that tram road too. And then we can delete the road behind. Wonderful. So this has got some like super kind of government-esque legal vibes to it. I'm not quite sure what the descriptive term is, but you guys know what I mean anyway. So now we're going to place the disaster memorial statue from the level 2 unique buildings. And I want to leave a space of 3 tiles between the memorial and the oppression office. And then the same thing again on this side, apart from we're going to leave 3 tiles in between. Let me draw this road out. Tiny bit. This will eventually be a tram road, but it's just there as a placeholder right now. And then I'll leave in 3 tiles in between as well. Okay. Then we'll switch back to our 2-lane with trams, and we'll draw it into there. And then of course switch the direction. Obviously if you're left-hand drive, have this flowing the other way. And then we can upgrade our frontal road into tram line now. And this is a great opportunity to start a new tram line if you want to. You know, it's kind of, you don't have to use trams either. Trolley buses would work. You can also pop a train station to this thing as well. Couple different little combinations that we can get on board with today. Then at the head of this building right here, we are going to place the courthouse, and the courthouse centralizes wonderfully well with the disaster memorial. If you guys have any other suggestions of unique buildings that work really well together, do get them down in the comments so kind of all of us can see. I'll start you off. The disaster memorial and the courthouse are kind of destined to be together, I think. There's something about them. I think it's the flags on the front here. Anyway. So what we'll do is we'll come through with a pavement path. Now I'm just going with the regular vanilla pavement path because I don't want kind of the bench little assets that spawn with the park paths. I don't want to keep it all the same texture. That's kind of stuff around it, right? You can see that the park path is a little bit different looking. So I'm going to go with the regular vanilla path. You guys can use whatever you want for it. Okay, now to help provide a little bit of a border between the actual build today and whatever you have lying on this corner. This could be residential, it could be high rise, you know, everyone's city is different. I'm now going to grab 2-way road with grass and bring it up into the corner. And then dive into our parks and plazas, and we are going to grab, not that, a small park. And again, we're going to leave a distance of 2 tiles between the small park and the oppression office. And the old faithful detailing will come in here as well now. So we can just start drawing all of these in together. A couple of different patterns and variations, of course. There are different ones you can do this kind of thing with. And then we can come back and detail these up and turn it into kind of a little bordering parkland that just sits between this main building, you know. Nice little bit of surrounding decoration for them. Then we'll just draw in a temporary placeholder road here while we work on where the trams are going to stop. Then coming in with one-way tram road, I'm going to leave a distance of 3 tiles between this one-way road and the tram-only road. Then of course we want to upgrade this into a tram track, 2-way this time, so cars can come down this way. And we don't want this to be a one-way road. Okay, that's going to serve as the base frame. So if you want to use more unique buildings here, you absolutely can. Of course, just kind of see which ones work for you. The station department store from the Japanese content creator pack, if you're going for those kind of higher density vibes, works really nicely here. You can also flip it around because it's got kind of like this black glass texture on the front of it. Well, on the back of it rather, and it works really nicely against kind of the back of this little town tram square that we've got going on. I'll kind of show you what it looks like here very quickly. And again, if you have any assets you think would work well here, do get them in. You can see how it kind of adds to that more government vibe when it's got that black glass facing into this plaza. I think it really does help, especially this little fire escape here too. So yeah, whatever assets you want really can fit here. I think I'm going to use the back of this department store. Kind of see that vibe coming together now, right? Okay. And then we can start to draw these up together here as well. Let's actually switch to our grass road for right here. So I'll try to keep all the internal roads quite nice and fancy. Either tram roads or the ones with grass tend to work well, I think. But it's up to you which ones you want to go for. And then there is a very specific office asset that I want to start generating in here. It's the 4x3. There we go. This is the asset that we're looking for, right? It's a 4x3 office zoning. It's got some really super nice legal vibes to it. And yeah. Of course, you don't have to use that one. If you want to use more uniques along here, or indeed a different type of office zoning, do feel free to throw them in. But I am just going to find it to place a couple of these down. So we can kind of come from each corner here, okay? Kind of add nicely into the square vibe here. We can kind of see different angles and different stuff coming in now. Especially once you got all these detailed up as well. We've got people moving around here. It will be really lush. So of course you can extend your new tram system over in that line, take it into your downtown or a suburb, whatever you have lying in that direction really. And then you've got another lovely little spot here, either for more zoning or unique building. Again, if you are kind of taking your build more towards the downtown vibes as opposed to kind of the smaller town centre. The Sea and Skyscraper works wonderfully well in here, especially if you start transitioning into... This is the one I've used in Palaven for this build. It's a little bit of a quirky asset, but it's a nice way to use it, especially when it's perfectly boxed in the road network like this. And then you can now begin to start layering your layers of height, as you move into the downtown. And again, another DLC recommendation would be the Resort Hotel from the Japanese Content Creator Pack. Also works really nicely kind of at the back of this parkland here. You imagine there'd be some kind of like a hotel for all the delegates and kind of like embassy ambassadors and whatnot if you're going for the legal vibes here and kind of government things. And it's also, nice views from here as well. It's centered on this parkland. maybe not the right asset to use if you're going for the small town vibes, but for a downtown build, it's a nice little increase in height, I think. Lovely, wonderful. Okay, and then there's another asset we can actually duplicate here. If we come in, let's go ahead and grab some plazas. I'm going to go for zoo plazas, why not? Change up a little bit, right? We'll have one here. And then we'll do one there as well. And one here. Drawing the same road that we've done. And then it's kind of like its partner asset, the Rail Yard Shopping Centre. You can create like some nice little plaza vibes through here. Get some paths through the middle in the detailing as well, of course. Yeah. You've got one on the side of the courthouse centered here. We're also detailing the plaza with the back of this asset. And we're also adding layers of height if you're looking to take this more downtown. Again, you know, you might be comfortable with having these taller assets within a town centre theme. I guess it depends what you're trying to build. But it's a little way of using them a little bit differently, you know. They're not just on a main road there to decorate kind of a government and legal plaza here. Just a quick shout out, if you are playing with campus, you can factor this into kind of a campus area because a lot of the end game buildings within the campuses work really well as government buildings, especially the School of Science and the School of Medicine from the campus one. Also the School of Engineering from the University of Technology. These work really well. However, bear in mind you will need to have a campus factored in nearby here or draw the campus area out. Yeah, but they're really big. Definitely the downtown vibes, you know, if you want to have this one along here. I think during the detailed time lapse, I'll get one placed in so you guys can kind of see how it would look like. But yeah, this is really, it's a great little template, this road layout here, for planning in some kind of main decoration or square or template to transition into a downtown, you know? Or serve it as a town centre. So now, of course, we've done this plenty of times before. Let's come into our trees and we want to use the tree asset that comes with the park. I'll probably keep this one free for some other kind of smaller detailing. Then just keep them dotted around in a kind of fairly random pattern. Just so it looks like a natural extension of the park asset, you know. And get some different ones in here. As you're driving along the road now, we get some fences in here too. It'll look good. The park fence is probably the best for this, and I'll just go for all your snapping off. Does make it easier when you're doing these kind of longer pieces. We can come in around here and then just box the oppression office in. That's all really simple detail and stuff that we've done before. And then we can bring this one down here too. You know, it's almost like the little parkland belongs to the oppression office. It's a nice little separation. Maybe even break the fence here as well. Kind of factor it into these little stair decals that are on the back of the oppression office here. Almost like it's a way into the back of the building, you know. If you want to be that specific about the detail, and of course you can. But yeah, it's a really unique combination of assets, I think, and we'll go ahead and start getting some detailings in. And of course I want to do something similar with this one here too, right? It will just kind of come through the middle here. And then do this one as well. And then I'll come through with my fencing and we'll kind of box everything in and get some nice tree patterns in. And then we'll also get some trams flowing around here, and then we'll begin to see this kind of little government court themed square. I haven't quite decided on the name of this build yet, clearly, but we'll come up with something in the title, I'm sure. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and detail this up, guys, get some trams moving around, some trees and some fences, and we'll kind of see what this looks like once we have some people moving around. Okay guys, that is going to do it for today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, a like below is always appreciated. Equally much if you haven't enjoyed it, please feel free to leave a dislike as well. And this has turned out really nicely. It's a proper unique collection of different buildings and assets and zonings. All office zoning, of course. We know we want kind of government vibes here. Whatever kind of the title of the build is, that's what we're going for. And also some of the old Green Cities car parking trick as well, which is the organic and local produce specialisation with 2x2 commercial zonings in there. I've also doubled up the tram stops in the square just so we have that symmetry of them stopping. One outside the oppression office and one on the tram road. And this actually works as a really nice place to transition into a downtown university, heading into the University of Technology if you have campus here. If you don't, replace these campus assets with something else of your choosing. It could be more zoning, could be parkland, could be skyscrapers, whatever you want. Just, you know, see what works, try out a couple of different ideas. This place will look pretty sweet at night time, I can assure you. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the outro Taj, and I will shut up and leave it there. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.